What I like is that it's as if the horn is being played at full ferocity.
Oh, yeah.
So it's distorting as well.
Yeah.
This episode is being supported by Tape It. If you currently use voice notes to record your ideas, you should try Tape It instead.
Just to go back to like the timeline of it, it's like I record that night, feel good about it, don't bounce it, which is really important part of a bit of information that we didn't bounce it. Because things that we don't bounce normally instantly, for the most part, not always, but for the most part, are the things that we think are like super special.
By bouncing it, what do you mean?
By taking it home with
Taking
me.
it home. So you don't make a recording of it, you don't put it on your phone and walk down the road with it.
But we do that with like 95% of things we do. I want it instantly on my phone. I need to listen to it on my way home from the studio. I mean, from the studio on my way back to where I'm going, I need it on my phone. So, but I think that I ended up, I think I came back the next day. I think Zach ended up sending it to me, and then I went home, and then I wrote the verse at home on my own, which is also quite rare. In that moment, anyway, in that like, at that point in like where we were at with just making music, like I wasn't really like writing outside the studio that much. I used to write outside the studio way more, but just life becomes life, and you just don't get to as much as you would like to. So I sat with it. I was on my sofa, and I wrote that verse on my sofa, and I remember being so chuffed with myself. Like I remember thinking that it was like one of the best things I ever wrote, and I was voice noting it, and I think Zach has some of those voice notes because I was sending him the voice notes. I was like, "Yo, I got this," like, because I don't know how he felt, but like I think Zach at that time, and I'm speaking for him, but I think he just thought it was cool to me. Like, I think he just thought it was cool, but like but the verse that I wrote in my head was like, "Oh no, this is like beyond cool. Like this is serious."
Yeah, it's funny. It's like in that moment at that time, you're right. Like my view on that song was, it was a cool song. It was a good song. It was, but it was weeks, if not like a month or so later, when I actually just really took it in and took a step back, and I was like, wow, this is incredible. Which is an interesting thing, and it's a slightly odd thing. I it's not so common to kind of have that lack of perspective at the beginning. I guess maybe that comes from looking as a producer, just kind of focusing in on little things and not actually taking two steps back and looking at the whole piece and going, wow, this is actually an amazing song. And we always spoke about how it felt like that song grew with us in the time that we had it when we were working on the album. It felt like it just got better and better and better the more we started to understand it. For me anyway, I'll speak for myself on that. I developed a real sense of closeness towards it.
Can I hear?
Yeah.
This episode is being supported by Tape It. If you, like so many of our guests, use voice notes to capture your ideas, you are going to love Tape It. It is the iPhone recording app designed specifically for musicians and songwriters. With Tape It, you can record straight from your lock screen, set markers, add notes, and even include photos of settings. Plus, there's cloud sync, you can import your old voice notes, and to stay on top of it all, Tape It has great labeling features like automatic instrument detection. And all of the above is free. If you currently use voice notes, switching to Tape It is a no-brainer. But that's not all. Tape It has the option to upgrade to using 2 microphones on your iPhone, along with gentler dynamic compression to give a much more natural sound than any of the usual apps. And we have a special offer of a whole month of this high-quality recording for free. Just head to tape.it/tape notes to try it for yourself and see what a difference it makes.
There's a few different voice notes.
So I know that sunshine isn't promised, so I put it in my pocket. Someone told me stop it, and when you told me stop it, so I put aside the thing. That's so funny.
It is funny because it's almost like fill in the blanks. It's like there. It's just a bit blurry.
Yeah. It's like there's some murmurs, there's some like some words are there, some aren't, but like the idea is there.
Yeah, and the tune is there. No.
Yeah. There's a few more as well.
Yeah, because I think I ended up. Sunshine isn't promised, so I put it in my pocket. Because I think I did end up finding words at some point. Like I think if you go to the one below
that one,
maybe like there's more words there. What did I expect? Said it with your chest to me. Oh, it's real. It's so funny because the cadences are slightly different.
Yeah.
But yeah, all in all, like it was
Yeah. And so what happens next then? So you've been kind of thinking up these things. You go back to Rollover to continue the work. And do you just walk in and start vocalizing immediately or
pretty much, yeah.
Yeah, I think you would have been really keen because, you know, want to get the song done and have that final bounce. Or at least what we thought was the final version. And yeah, so we would have gone in, recorded it immediately. We also got Mark Crown to play some trumpet just for the outro.
And was that recorded in the UK or was that recorded in LA?
That was recorded by Mark in his studio and he just chucked them over. But Bakar came up with the lines, almost kind of did a trumpet impression on a voice note at the end to kind of explain the harmony lines that he was hearing.
What I like is that it's not just trying to do a horn sound, but it's as if the horn is being played at full ferocity.
Oh yeah.
So it's distorting as well.
Yeah. It's going through a pedal, that horn.
But it's also just like, again, you know, like shows the DNA of this record in terms of, I think, you know, I can see the title of that voice note is like, it looks like it's a hotel somewhere. I don't know where I was. I think I was somewhere and Zach was back home and I might just wake up and be like, Faction needs horns at the end.
Yeah.
Like I like innately, like I just felt like I was like, not just on a vanity one, just like generally I'm like, I feel like we could do some horns here. And so it just speaks to the constant moving from different places and the connections and Mark's here, I'm there, Zach's there.
Yeah.
But an idea.
Somehow it all can kind of work together.
Yeah. It's amazing.
It's really cool.
Yeah, I love that. Thinking about it, constantly thinking about the work.